WWE 2K19 is the most overrated WWE game of all time. Now, full disclosure, I've gone on record numerous times on this channel stating I am not a fan of WWE games since 2K took over. But that doesn't mean I haven't found some crumbs of enjoyment out of their entries, 2K19 being no different. Hell, I even rated 2K19 as the second best 2K game in the whole series. However, being one of the best 2K games is like being the Mr. Hanky of turds. Sure, it can sing and dance, but it's still a piece of To this day, you cannot open the WWE Games subreddit without being blasted with daily WWE 2K19 posts. And at the risk of sounding like an old man yelling at clouds, seeing all the praise 2K19 gets over 5 years after its release is nothing short of pathetic. Let's run down the list of issues with the game. Number 1. If you're going to prioritize and tout graphics in your franchise the way 2K has, which is a mistake in my opinion, but that's another video, then you have to get the models looking better than they do in this game. The faces can be very hit or miss, and when they miss, boy, do they miss. Particularly on the Legends and earlier versions of themselves. I mean, good God almighty, what in the blue hell have they done with Kurt Angle? It's like no effort was put into de-aging some of these faces at all. How do you do, fellow kids? It's laughably bad in some cases. Number 2, and this one really gets me. I see all the time people praising 2K19 as having the best career mode you can play in a WWE game. I'm gonna be honest, this is a insane take. Anyone who believes this is either too young and hasn't played any WWE game prior to the 2K era, or they've been hitting Boogeyman's magical staff a little too hard. 2K19's career mode sucks so badly. For starters, it's on rails. You have no freedom in which feuds you engage in, which titles you wish to chase after, or anything else we've seen in career modes from decades ago in other WWE games. This could have been forgiven if the story was better, but unfortunately it falls victim to the same cringe writing that the NBA 2K career modes have suffered from in the past. Not only that, but you have set objectives that you need to complete in each match. That's right, these are required to progress, meaning you don't even have freedom in wrestling your own freaking matches. What is this, showcase mode? What's even the damn point in playing through this crap? You may as well just be a spectator of your career, because you have absolutely zero say in it. Moving on, the biggest hard-on people have for this game is always for the gameplay. In particular, the chain wrestling. Now, don't get me wrong, the chain wrestling is cool, but it's limited to the start of matches, not unlike the multiple different pre-match minigames you can engage in on the very first Smackdown vs. Raw, which was released almost 15 years before this game, but I'm moving on from that. The actual gameplay of 2K19 is mediocre at best. Movement is sluggish. You don't feel the fluidity of 360-degree movement that you get in earlier games. Strikes are especially bad. Every punch or kick you throw will land exactly the same. It looks like your opponent gets sucked into your strikes in an animation rather than naturally finding your target. The grappling is also limited. Although this can be chalked up to a preference thing, I just miss the various grapple packages from tie-ups that are missing from this game. There's also the incredibly stupid reversal system where you have a set number of stock reversals you can use and they diminish every time you use one and they replenish the more you use moves and build up momentum. The problem with this is it's super easy to just spam kicks, force your opponent to use up all the reversals so that you can hit them with your big moves. You can do it online and online is no longer functional, but you can still do it against the computer as well. I just hate being able to cheese and being able to get cheesed. It's the worst. There was nothing wrong with just R2 and L2. One reverses grapples, one reverses strikes. This reversal system is booty cheeks. The commentary in this game is horrendous. In fact, it may just be the worst in the entire series. I mean it. Just listen to this excerpt from my 2K19 review video. And I tried desperately here to get something out of him. I start climbing the cell, nothing. Dean Ambrose starts climbing the cell, nothing. Are you kidding me? Like, come on, this is WWE 2K19. I know I keep saying that, but it's just ridiculous how bad that this commentary is. This is what really gets my goat. I powerbomb this mofo off the cell, through the table,
into their laps, nothing. So, hey, I let them finish their thought, right? Because maybe they just don't like interrupting or whatever. Leap off the cell, nailed it. Corey Graves says, nailed it, and that's all I get. That is ridiculous. I drop an elbow off the top of the cell, in his lap, essentially, and all he has to say is, nailed it. Screw you, 2K. Honestly, screw you for that.
And then there's the clipping. The god-awful clipping. Limbs go through bodies and ropes alike. Weapons completely spaz out just by being in close proximity of a ring apron. I mean, what the hell are we doing here? Weapon interactions have always been a signature of wrestling games. To have the whole entire physics engine be so broken is inexcusable. Then, when you do get a weapon in your hand, the attacks are all animation based, which completely sucks the fun out of using them in the first place. I want to hit my opponent with a bat in more ways than just the single standing strike animation they give you. Weapon mechanics in general are lousy in 2K19. I do appreciate a larger backstage area, even though a lot of it is again just smoke and mirrors. Sure, you see a lot of cool stuff back there, but the ways you can interact with them are again extremely limited. Most things you see backstage can only have your opponent thrown into them. That's it. I'm not saying every game needs to have outdoor, chaotic helicopter flying, building scaling, explosive over-the-top backstage environments. But you've got to give us something more to up the fun. This may be a quote-unquote sim wrestling video game, but let us not forget that it is still just that, a video game. And video games are supposed to be fun. Can we even call this game a sim-style wrestling game? It's so slow and monotonous, and by the year 2018, we had superstars like Seth Rollins, Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, guys who pushed the pace in the ring. Meaning that this game was no longer an accurate representation of the product you saw on TV. So then, what the hell is this game? It's not sim, and it absolutely is an arcade. It's stuck in no man's land. And there lies the problem. Obviously, a big part of why 2K19 is held in such high regard is because WWE game fans were forced to play it for years while 2K got its crap together after the hiatus 2K20 caused. But take off the rose-colored glasses for a moment and realize that 2K20 is not very far off from 2K19. I know that's a hard pill to swallow for you fanboys out there. But that's enough. I'm gonna put my shovel away. I'm done burying 2K19. I try to be positive on this channel, and for the most part I am, but when I see all these posts about 2K19 still to this day, especially on all my other videos, just talking about how much better 2K19 is, it really chaps my ass. And you know what? Keep them coming, because I like engaging in this debate. Maybe it's a generational thing, but me personally, I just feel bad for people that didn't grow up playing the THQ era wrestling games. For people that only know the 2K, and that's probably who 2K19's biggest fans are, people that have only played the 2K series of wrestling games, I feel sorry for you. Ignorance truly is bliss. You don't know what you're missing. I guess you just had to be there. I think those games like Shut Your Mouth and Here Comes the Pain have aged very gracefully, but people care so much about graphics today and gameplay suffers for it, and that's what you see in 2K19, and I think you're still seeing it to this day. But anyways, thanks for watching, guys. I'm done complaining and done whining. But if you're here at this point, then I appreciate you very much. Do all the YouTube stuff for me if you will, and I'll catch you guys next time. Have a great day.